And good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar for University of London's Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration program with Coursera. My name is Saddam, and I'm an enrollment counselor here at Coursera. Joining me today is Matthew, a fellow enrollment counselor, who will be answering your questions in the Q&A box. And we have Alexis from Coursera Marketing helping behind the scenes. In today's webinar, we have a great session where we will be looking at a general overview of the Bachelor's at the University Study and Coursera platform, admission requirements, application process, tuition fees, and degree recognition and graduation. We will end off with live Q&A session where we will answer your questions. In the meantime, please drop your questions into Q&A box below as we go along. Matthew will be answering these questions. As we end, I will go through the remaining questions. In the next slide, we are going to watch a quick video about Business Administration program from University of London that explains whatever industry you've set your sights on. The University of London's BSc Business Administration degree will give you the essential business skills to exceed your ambitions. Graduates from UL have gone to work in global business, so there's no limit to how far you can go. Next slide, please. Just a quick disclaimer, I have added a few questions in between the slides, which I generally come across when I am on call with learners. I hope this benefits you all. So the first thing that pops up in our heads while we select a degree program is not just about the subject we want to study, but also the university that offers it. So let's proceed on to the next slide and get that question answered. The University of London was founded in 1836 and is one of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the UK. There are over 50,000 students in 180 plus countries studying 100 plus degrees, diplomas, and certificates. The program is led by academics at Royal Holloway School of Business Management, one of the 17 independent federation member of University of London. Royal Holloway is ranked in the top 30 of universities in UK and top 350 universities in world for world-class research. This program has been designed to encourage intellectual curiosity, whether you are currently working within the sector or seeking opportunities in new field. The program provides foundation for understanding the diverse interdisciplinary nature of marketing and business administration. If you are looking to work for an international company or crave the opportunity to be mobile during your career, this will be an invaluable learning experience. You will walk away with an internationally recognized qualification and global mindset as a result of studying across borders with colleagues from around the world. There are two cohorts every year. First is in April and October. So current cohort starts on 7th October 2024. Next slide, please. Awesome. So now that we've received a high-level overview of the program, let's look more in what studying online through Coursera looks like. So let's look at the next quick question, which is, I haven't taken online courses with Coursera before, or can you help me understand how it works? In this, we'll understand how online learning is delivered to you through Coursera. Next slide, please. So this is an online degree from University of London. Royal Holloway partnered with Coursera. I'm sure most of you already have experience with Coursera platform, but for those who do not worry. It's very easy to figure out. I'll walk you through the main points and feel free to ask more questions about this during our live Q&A. The studies at any time, as long as you have internet connection. This means the most of the time you can study at your own pace. Many of our students are working full-time, part-time, or taking care of loved ones and enjoy taking the program at a pace that works best for them. If you are able, you can even work ahead. If you have more time to study, you should expect to spend between 10 to 12 hours per week studying each module. You'll also need to regularly check your university student portal. The student portal is a gateway to all of your additional learning resources. There you'll find the most up-to-date information, including registration dates, exam dates, as well as wonderful resources to support your development, such as well-being material, career development, exercises, and student support services. Next slide, please. So to help you better understand how the learning process works on Coursera platform, let me walk you through the sample course from University of London on Coursera platform. Alexis, can you please play the video? Great. So once you log in to the Coursera platform, you'll see the courses you've registered for on your dashboard, and you'll see on the screen the modules are broken down into a weekly workload that you can view at any time. This will help you keep pace with the workload. Each week we'll have pre-recorded video lectures, quizzes, and interactive activities. There are also discussion forums where you can speak to fellow students and professor. So let's understand in the next slide about assessments and support. So looking at how assessments for this program work and the kind of support you will receive. The minimum duration of this program is 3 years, which is the standard length of the bachelor's degree in UK. But since this degree is flexible, you can vary your workload. The university gives you up to 6 years to complete all the required modules at your own pace. You will have hard deadlines for some assessments and final exams, which will be highlighted in a syllabus you receive. Here, I would also like to mention that all assessments are now taking place online. Each module of the business administration program is assessed by 2 elements of assessment. The first one comprises 4 multiple choice questions test taken at 5 weekly intervals throughout each 22-week study session. They will contribute 30% towards your final grade, and the remaining 70% of your grade will come from the assessment element 2, which is a 3,000 word final online examination held at the end of each session. That's around September and March. Also, some modules have group work where you need to work asynchronously with your peers. So please plan for that as well. You will also receive a plenty of support within this program. The virtual learning environment on the Coursera platform is where you'll find lessons, activities, assignments, and additional study resources. You will also have an opportunity to join online tutorials with the University of London professors who will provide you with support and guidance throughout each study session. These tutorials are not mandatory to attend, but I'd highly encourage you to do so. Each tutor has their own group of students to make sure you feel fully supported in this program. For any non-academic inquiries such as course advising, you can reach out to your online student support team who will be able to provide you with support throughout your learning journey. Next slide, please. Hopefully, you have a clear understanding on what studying online is like. Now let's look into general admission requirements and the documents you need to submit with your application in the next slide. So in order to qualify for application, you must be age 17 or older on the registration deadline date, which is 23rd September 2024. The University of London accepts qualifications from all over world. I encourage you to look at the link that Matthew is now going to share in the chat to review your country's qualification. Please note that the University of London does accept many awards that are not listed on the website, such as non-listed school qualifications, diplomas, and professional awards. Applications are now open and the deadline for the application is 23rd September 2024. So make sure to do this as soon as possible. It can take the University of London up to 15 business days to process your application. The application fee for October 2024 cohort is £60 only. And to complete your application, you will need a scanned copy of your personal identification, that is birth certificate, passport, national identification card, neutralization certificate. So you require scanned copies of your official academic transcripts, translated copies if needed. It can be signed and stamped by an official translator. Then you would require evidence of English proficiency if English is not your first language. Matthew will drop in chat with respect to language proficiency requirements. Then you would require a supporting statement describing why you want to take this program. This will be your opportunity to showcase the University of London, why you wish to study for this program. So please give your reasons. You should include details about your education, work experience, and current responsibilities, which are relevant to this application. It is recommended that you write between 100 to 250 words. If you would like your employment to be considered as part of your application, you may upload a CV or resume, but that's completely optional. In next slide, we will discuss about the application process. So to start your application, please go to Coursera website and click on the blue Apply Now button, which will take you to the University of London's application portal. The first question you will be asked when you start your application is whether you want to apply for standard or performance-based entry. To understand which route is the best for you, make sure to check your country requirements following the link we shared in the chat box. If you satisfy those requirements, choose standard entry. Otherwise, choose performance-based. The difference between them is that if you get accepted into performance-based admission, you will need to complete one module with a weighted average of 40% or above before progressing onto the rest of the program. So the application itself is pretty straightforward. Please prepare all the documents we spoke about in advance, and then it shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes to complete your application. If you have any questions or concerns regarding the application, feel free to reach out to our enrollment services at any stage of your application process. So we will be sharing a link to book meeting with enrollment counselor towards the end of this meeting. Make sure to submit your application before 9th September 2024. After submission, please check your email inbox regularly, as the University of London might ask for some additional information. You will also receive an email with their decision and further instructions. In the next slide, let's try to understand about the total program cost. So the indicative totals of the bachelor's is 14,076 to 18,732 pounds, depending upon your geographical location, band A or band B. Please note, tuition is based on where you are living currently and not based on nationality. To understand which band you fall under, Matthew will now share a link in the chat box. For this program, if you wish to pay as you go, band A countries per module cost is 1,168 pounds. And for band B countries, per module cost is 1,556 pounds. Please note that the full program fees is not available to students residing in the UK who access student loans company. The students should instead pay by module. There is also £60 application fee. To review the fees in further detail, Matthew will drop the website in the chat box. Learners can pay their fees via online, in-person, and offline. So when you pay online by credit card, debit card, bank transfer, or Flywire, basically you can log in into your student portal, select your username at the top of the page to access my account, and then select my finance and payment. Select the fees you wish to pay online at the payment method. Once payment is approved, you will be able to print a receipt. If you wish to pay by bank transfer, an amount will be displayed along with instructions on how to proceed with the transfer of funds. This can be done at your bank in person or through your online banking. If you wish to pay online but do not have access to your student portal, please contact the Student Advice Center. Flywire allows you to save on bank fees and exchange rates and choose local payment options. When you want to pay offline, you have options like Western Union, Quick Pay, Sterling Bank's draft or check. And University of London offers a number of scholarships and bursaries for the students. The best way to go about is for you to check university's website to see if there's anything that you may be eligible for. Matthew will now share a link for financial aid options in the chat box. Please note that generally you can apply for scholarship or bursaries only after you've been accepted into the program, that is, after the application is submitted. So in the next slide, we'd like to try and understand the final question that I generally come across often at this stage is, what are the next steps after my application is accepted? So let's quickly understand in the next slide. For those who have already been accepted, the next step is registration. When you are ready to register for your modules, for which the deadline is 23rd September 2024, log into your student portal using the login details the university emailed to you. Once you've logged in into your student portal, click the Register Now button and you'll be able to see which modules are offered in the session, and register. You can study up to 2 new modules per semester. In addition to this, you can resit assessments or repeat modules if necessary. It's strongly recommended you take the foundations of quantitative methods for sustainable organizations, that is BU 1510, and interpreting management, market, and consumption, that is BU 1520, during your first term. To complete your registration, you need to pay for your modules. The total cost of the program is depending on your location. Matthew will now share a link with the country bands in the chat box. So you can check for yourself. If your country is band A, you pay £14,076 in total. And if it is band B, the total cost is £18,732. Also, I would like you to know that you don't have to pay these fees straight away. You pay as you go for each module you take. So this fees will be divided between the years of your studies. After you've registered and paid for your modules, you'll receive to your university email address an invite to link your Coursera account to the degree program. There you'll see an orientation course that you'll need to complete before classes begin. This course covers everything you need to know to start the program to make the best use of your studies, step by step. It will go over program policies, how to navigate Coursera, communication channels to seek help, and how to connect with other students. You should allow up to 6 hours to complete this course. Once you've completed that, you'll receive access to your modules when the teaching session begins on 8th October 2024. You'll have access to all of your study materials at the start of the session, except for some assessment and final exams, which may be logged for a certain date and time. Now, let's talk about your degree itself in the next slide, wherein you'd be able to understand your possible career paths in more detail. So when we talk about degree recognition, BSc in Business Administration is a standard bachelor's degree in UK. The University of London holds the standards of this program to the same expectations of a UK Business Administration degree. The academic level and objectives are aligned with UK benchmark. Your degree certificate will not mention Coursera or the fact that it was completed online. So the University of London's understanding is that a UK degree is typically accepted for entering a master's program worldwide. But since some countries' education system are structured differently, I'd recommend contacting the admissions department of the specific university you are interested to see what requirements they have and if there's a grade you need to achieve. If you require any documents for your application, you can contact the university for assistance. In the next slide, we will understand career pathways and support. So there are many different possibilities of career for you upon graduation. You can see some sample roles in the slide, but generally with credentials from a globally recognized institution, which the University of London is, you will discover in-demand business opportunities at the international companies and will be able to fit easily into roles that collaborate across borders. After studying with learners around the world within the program, you will cultivate a global mindset, which will allow you to bring your new expertise to business sectors everywhere. Just to give you an idea, on-campus graduates from Royal Holloway School of Business and Management have gone to work at various international companies, including Versace, Barclays, Nissan, Deloitte, Xerox, and Goldman Sachs. Upon your graduation, you'll also become a part of university's alumni network, which unites all of the University of London alumni worldwide. It will provide you with some great networking opportunities. For career support, the university works closely with Careers Group, a university service to offer a range of fantastic online resources to maximize your experience. Resources include video tutorials on interview preparation, technical resume writing, building your LinkedIn and personal branding. They also host great career webinars twice a week throughout the year. So I highly encourage you to attend at least one of those. Now it's time for our Q&A. If you have some additional questions about the program or application process, please put them in the question and answer box. We'll give you all a few seconds to submit your questions. We see a lot of thoughtful questions. We'll try to answer as many as possible in the time that we have left. So first question that I've come across is, how long does the program takes to complete? So typically the program will take you between 3 and 6 years to complete. If you are working and intending to study the degree alongside, you can pay for modules as you go and study at your own pace. On average, a student studying part-time will finish this degree in 4 to 5 years. Next follow-up question was be, what is the required time commitment? Can I complete this program if I'm working full-time? Sure thing. So many of our students are working full-time or taking care of family while completing this program. You can choose how many modules to study in each session, up to maximum of 2 new modules. The time commitment will vary from student to student, but as a guide, you should allow 300 hours for each module to be studied throughout a 22 weeks study session. So you would like to understand how many modules to complete in the program. So there will be basically 12 modules in the entire degree. And then this is a very interesting question. Will there be a graduation ceremony? Yes. Students who successfully complete the program will be invited to our annual graduation ceremony in London, subject to restrictions in place for events of this kind. Another interesting question which I often come across, can I switch from online to in-person program? So no, there is no direct transfer between the programs. You need to reapply to the in-person program. Okay, most of the applicants have this question. What is the program cost, payment schedule, and do I have to pay all fees upfront? So the total cost of the program for 2024-25 is between £14,076 to £18,732, depending upon geographical location. You won't be billed upfront for the whole degree. Instead, you can pay as you go. Each time you take a module, you'll pay the tuition fees just for that module. There's a question regarding a background. So it says, do I need to have a business background? Well, you do not need to have a business background or relevant work experience to be admitted to the program. Please see the entrance requirement for further information about the entry routes available. Well, this is again at the application stage, wherein will I need to submit official transcripts to apply? Well, we do not normally require official transcripts for admission purpose. Just uploaded scanned copies of your relevant supporting documents would suffice the need. This is a question which I often come across, which says, what if I don't meet the admissions requirement and I still want to apply? Okay, so if you do not meet the admissions requirement for direct entry, you may be eligible for the performance-based entry route instead. If you apply, our admissions office will be able to assess your eligibility for either route and advise you further. If you are not eligible, the University of London's admission team will provide you with the guidance on what you can do to become eligible. If you are admitted to the program through performance-based entry, you must pass one required module before progressing to the full BSc Business Administration program. Since we came across performance-based admission, we have one question which gives us an understanding, or rather requires an understanding of, can you describe performance-based entry again? So basically, the performance-based admission entry route provides access to the BSc for students who do not meet the academic requirements for direct entry. And if you are admitted via performance-based application route, you must first pass one specified requirement modules before you can progress to the full BSc. And you learn more about the performance-based admission progression rules. Link can be provided into the tab. So finally, I have one question which is focusing upon the international students. So are there any additional requirements for international students? No, we accept qualifications from around the world, and we advise all applicants to read our qualification for entrance and English language requirements before applying. Link can be provided in the chat. Great. Thank you. So if there are no further questions, here you can find some key dates in the next slide for fall 2024 cohort. Applications have already opened on 11th of June 2024, and applications close on 9th September 2024. Registration deadline would be 23rd September 2024, and program starts on October 7th, 2024. We'll send out the recording of this webinar to you in a follow-up email, and you can schedule an appointment there. Also, if you have any further questions, feel free to schedule a call with enrollment counselor. The link for this will now be shared by Matthew in the chat box. Thank you everyone for attending the webinar. And once again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.